being here long because I just, just in my Bible, and I just want to come on here to bring a warning. I'm not going to go into everything that, you know, what God is showing me. Um, but I do want to mention Leviathan, the Leviathan spirit. Um, the Leviathan spirit, the only way to get rid of Leviathan is to fast and pray. You cannot, and let me tell you, if things in your house is out of order, Leviathan is there. If the enemy is attacking you and your family back to back, left and right, Leviathan is there. Like I told y'all, my first encounter with Leviathan was in 2003. I had a dream, and in this dream I was fighting a dragon, literally a dragon. I know Leviathan is a sea creature. I understand that. But I'm talking about the spirit behind this. And we know that spirit is the enemy, Satan himself. So when I went to sleep and had this dream, I was fighting a dragon. And when I woke up instantly, okay, I just feel different things rising up in my spirit as I talk. Instantly, I heard the Holy Spirit say, do a 24-hour water fast. I laid there in that bed thinking, I'm not doing no 24-hour water fast because I couldn't see myself without food for 24 hours. But that was my key to deliverance. That 24-hour water fast was my key to deliverance. And what God was doing was he was trying to get me to prevent the attacks that were coming, which was the enemies we wind up getting both of our cars repossessed, eviction notices, no money, not knowing how we gonna make it. It was horrific. Nothing new for us at that point, but it was the pressure had mounted. It was more pressure than the previous times. That was because Leviathan was right there. And soon as God showed me the dream and I woke up, he gave me the remedy. Do a 24-hour water fast. I didn't. I literally heard that and I didn't. So let me put a pause because this keep coming to my spirit what the Lord is saying. I was thinking, God, I remember when I first got saved. And let me go to that real quick. I'm going to come back to this because I want to talk about these false prophets in a minute. So give me a moment because I got my list set up here with me and the Lord real quick. I wasn't planning on doing no video, but I'm going to go to Samuel real quick and I'm going to let me see. Okay. So when I first got saved, God started dealing with me. And the first desire that God gave me was a desire for his word. Like, get in my word. Get in my word. So the Lord took me to this First Samuel chapter 3. And I want to go to, let's start at verse 19. So Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and let none of his words fall to the ground. And all Israel from Dan to Beersheba knew that Samuel had been established as a prophet of the Lord. This is amazing how we're going to talk about prophets. And God brought me to this scripture because this is what was in my spirit. Then the Lord appeared again in Shiloh, for the Lord revealed himself to Samuel in Shiloh by the word of the Lord. So God revealed himself to me throughout my 25 years as a Christian by the word of the Lord. So you better get in this word. If you want to know God for real, you better stop following you know what? I get on this Facebook, on this YouTube, and everybody a prophet. I can look at these kids and look at these people and look at these witches and say, what? But they saying what you want to hear. They saying what your itchy ears want to hear. Oh, your husband is coming. He at the door. He around the corner. Your husband is thinking about you 24/7. Your kingdom spouse got your back. Your kingdom spouse, he can't sleep since she ain't with you. Girl, boy, you better be careful. Because the devil is a liar. I'm not saying God ain't talking to you, but majority of these people are false demonic prophets. Let me tell you something. The Bible says, beware of wolves in sheep clothing. These people ain't got no freaking power, no authority, no anointing on her leading you astray. And you subscribing and following witches and warlocks and powerless people. They saying what you want to hear. You want to hear my husband is coming. You know why? Because you worship marriage. You worship a husband or a wife. You've made an idol out of it. So God is not in that. When you're making an idol out of something, God is not in that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you want to know Jesus, you better get in this word for yourself. Because baby, if you don't get in this word for yourself, oh my goodness. I was even reading this. Let me show you. I was reading the Bible and I didn't even write that down. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Because I want to talk about the false prophets. And I'm in the book of Ezekiel. And then I also want to talk about slaughter of idolatry. So I need to write that down. I'm going to put the mark of the beast. Mark of the beast. And that is, I'm coming from Ezekiel 9. And okay, starting at verse 5. I marked it in my Bible, but I didn't write it down. Okay, so let me read this, okay? So let's start at verse 9. Chapter 9, Ezekiel. It says, then the Lord thundered, bringing on the men appointed to punish the city. Tell them to bring the weapons with them. 6 men soon appeared from the upper gate that faces north, each carrying a deadly weapon in his hand. With them was a man dressed in linen, who carried a writer's case at his side. They all went into the temple courtyard, stood beside the bronze altar. Then the glory of God, the God of Israel, rose up from between the cherubims where it had rested and moved to the entrance of the temple. And the Lord called to the man dressed in linen who was carrying the writer's case. He said to him, walk through the streets of Jerusalem and put a mark on the foreheads of all who weep and sigh because of the detestable sins being committed in their city. Now you need to go and read Ezekiel chapter 8. God is talking about the fertility gods. He's talking about the detestable demonic things that these devils are doing even in the church. So read Ezekiel chapter 8. It's talking about idolatry in the temple. Then you got chapter 9. God said, he said, everybody that's weeping is sighing because of the detestable sins that has been committed in the city. So he said, everybody who's crying and weeping because of the sin that's going on in the city, I want you to mark their foreheads. I'm just telling you what the Bible said. I ain't smart enough to think of this. Then, verse 5, I heard the Lord say to the other men, follow them through the city and kill everyone whose forehead is not marked. And listen, show no mercy, have no pity, kill them all, old and young, girls and women and little children, but do not touch anyone with the mark. Do that remind you of something? Baby, it's going to go down up in this thing. I pray that me and my family not here when God start wiping people out. But you can't keep thinking, man, do you know it's this world so sinful, it's pathetic. They call what's sin righteous and what's righteous sin. It's pathetic. So when you get a chance, read that. So what I was talking to you about was I wanted to go and read that, and then I wanted to talk to you about, okay, let me go back. I didn't. Okay, we're gonna talk about the false prophets real quick. Okay, so God revealed himself to his children by the word of the Lord. When you're a prophet, you better get in the word and stop listening to these people who, man, the very ones that you think is a prophet, that could be the Antichrist. Because the Bible talks about that when Antichrist rise up, it's going to turn many away. They're going to come talking about God and Jesus, but when they get you inside, it's like a cult. That's it. Wake up and smell the coffee, because baby, it's brewing. It's brewing. Okay? In the midst of God blessing I was talking to the guy that was my salesperson for the salesperson for the Lexus that God gave me, the first Lexus, then a second Lexus, then my son's Toyota. That was he passed, and I was crazy about him. And when I went back to look for him at the Lexus dealership, he was dead, and it hurted me. The last time me and this man was together, he was a Caucasian man, just loved me, and I loved him. Me and him just sit at his desk while they was waiting to get my paperwork and stuff done. He just was playing Elvis and different songs. It was just beautiful. I didn't know that would be the last time I see him. I didn't know that in less than probably a few months this man would be gone. So when I went up there looking for him, guess who I wound up meeting? Emmanuel. One of God's name is Emmanuel, and Emmanuel means God with us. Well, I met Emmanuel, and he became a salesperson. So I bought 3 cars with him. My son's car and them 2 Lexuses the Lord just blessed me with yesterday. So, when I was up there yesterday, I wasn't trying to get no cars. I wasn't trying to get no cars. When I went in there Tuesday or Wednesday, I was taking my son's car to the shop. Because remember, he was in a parking spot. Somebody came and parked too close to him. And so in order for him to get out, he wound up denting his, like the bottom part of that whole bottom part. So I was taking my son's car to get it fixed. But I was seeing lights on the license plate. I was seeing license plates that had my name on it. And I saw 2. And I'm like, God, what is you saying? I didn't know that God was going to give me 2 cars. Two. I wasn't expecting that, but he kept saying in my spirit, miracles. And you're welcome. And so, in the midst of God blessing his children, don't think judgment is not brewing. Don't think God is not, he just, no, God is not pleased with this bull crap that's going on in this world. And the leaders are at fault. because everything is acceptable. That's the same thing that happened with Eli. He allowed this mess with his sons and brought this mess into the church. And thinking that this stuff does not affect God or make God angry. You know, and that old God Tamaz is what it is, and you can read that in Ezekiel 8. That's a fertility demonic entity, and it's sexual prostitution and perversion, dealing with that fertility god and crap. And so it was the same thing that when Moses came down from the getting the 10 Commandments, they had built that calf. So it's so much mess that's going on. It's a lot of stuff I don't see. God keeps me away from a lot of stuff. He always has, because I don't get involved in this mess. Everybody that say, I see your husband coming, and they catch you when you're vulnerable. And you got to be careful with these false inner prophets within you. Because do you know that devil literally told me for years that Greg wasn't my husband? You married the wrong man. So with me accepting that and believing that lying prophet within, guess what? I always kept that door open to, well, who is my husband? So the devil will use whatever me and him was going through, or my loneliness, or his loneliness, whatever we was going through, to literally build upon his lie. So God dealt with me about divorcing Greg twice and told me that was my husband, and that what God put together, let no man put asunder. So all them years, that devil, he planted a seed, and he built a wall between me and Greg. When I tell you this stuff is real, and you can't believe everything that you hear, whether it's with your ears or within. Some things just come as a thought. But the devil is tricky, and he's trying to rob you of your purpose and your destiny. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to leave here and get to heaven and everything, and my whole life was defeated because I listened to false prophets. Now, if the devil tell you, Joy, Greg is not your husband, even if we married, I remember I was praying, asking God, is he my husband? And when I went to sleep, I had a dream, and in this dream, my mind said, I know we ain't married. I was looking for the paperwork to see if we was married. In my brain, I knew we wasn't married, because in the waking life, we wasn't married. We was divorced the second time. And I found my marriage license. And clearly in that dream, we was married. And I'm like, I was shocked, because I knew we was divorced in real life. Anyway, I said all that to say, if the devil tell you that this man or woman is your wife, he's going to start bringing false prophets on YouTube. He's going to send something to confirm his lie. You're going to start seeing that man ain't your husband, that woman ain't your wife. See what I'm saying? But if the devil trying to make you get out of your marriage, he's going to send something to say, you married the wrong person, or your true soulmate is coming around the corner, or your true love is walking on the clouds, about to take the fifth cloud to come down from the escalator to step into the doormat. And when he walk up on the doormat, he's going to have black boots on. You get the drift, okay? The devil has signs and wonders to follow his lies. Sometimes you got to fall flat on your face to believe the truth. Just like when the devil told me that my brother in the Lord, that who was married to my sister in the Lord, was my husband. The devil was only able to do that because of my lust for that man. Now, I was married, they was married. How was that man going to be my husband? You know how I know that it took all these years for me to, even though some things I never meditated on, but I'm just being real. As a Christian, I'm not just sitting up saying, "Ooh, that I'm gonna take somebody's husband," so you don't deal with it. But the seed is planted, and you subliminally water it. You know how I know for sure that wasn't God? Because he's not living anymore. He never married me. He never was divorced. See how that lie of that devil? Sometimes you got to go through something in order to realize that the lie is a lie. You understand? Now, my husband is not, I'm not married to Greg, but I know now that was my husband that God gave me. Clearly it was, because for some reason we could never move on. We divorced 2 times. Who does that? And was finna get married the 3rd time. Who does it? That's because of the purpose and plan that the Lord stamped his approval on us, and the devil worked hard to try to bind the strong man, which wasn't joy, but Greg. If we can bind the strong man, then we can come in and destroy the house. But the devil is a liar, because Joy know how to pray. Lord, fix my mess. Lord, you, my husband, protect me and protect Greg. And when the time is right, restore. You understand? When your will become the will of God, and when you know the truth, hey, you got to pray. You got to shift those prayers. So I'm just trying to show you how the devil lie, and I'm using my life as an experience to show you, baby, stop listening to the lies of the devil. He's a liar. If God said, that's the thing, you got to know. That's why you got to know God, and you got to know his promises, and you got to fast and pray. And some people, they don't believe the promises of God because it might be a delay. So they go and try to do it do it themselves. I could never marry somebody else because I was married. In God's eyes, I was married to Greg. If I would have married somebody else, I would have been an adulterer. I would have been an adulterer. Divorcing Greg didn't make me an adulterer. If I would have married somebody else, I would have been an adulterer. You understand what I'm saying? Divorcing Greg, in God's eyes, was a sin because he never told me to. Matter of fact, I told y'all, he told me not to. And then that second time, when we got married at that courthouse, I knew that God was in that room with us. And actually, we kind of got into it a little bit before we went in that room. And the first thing I thought was, oh my goodness, don't do this. Because the devil had already told me, don't do it. So now I got this. I'm thinking that this is God telling me not to do it. So we both sat there like, don't look at me. I ain't looking at you. Let's just go get this over with. Because we got into it a little bit. And I said, I'm not doing this. He said, he ain't say nothing, but he wanted to say, girl, whatever. So we went in that room. I had a dream before this happened before I even knew I was finna get married again. And it was a woman in the dream facilitating the marriage. And guess what? It was a woman judge who facilitated our marriage, but I knew God was in that room. And I knew in my heart, ain't no way out this time. So if y'all don't get along, that's too bad. I knew I was in that it was God. I divorced him anyway. And I just felt God never let me off the hook for that. And what I mean by that is, that's your husband. Even if that divorce paper say you ain't married. I don't care. I put you together. You're married. So for me to talk to another man, I'm cheating. I can't control what he do. So that means I just have to be like this until the Lord do whatever he gonna do. You understand? But the point I'm making is listening to those lies of the devil and welcoming the lies. Welcome back. We welcoming him. Like, come on in and lie to me. If God tell you somebody's going to be your husband and that person dies, that wasn't God. If God tell you you're going to marry somebody and you don't, that wasn't God. If God tell you tomorrow at 3:00, you're going to be on the moon, and tomorrow at 3:00, you ain't on the moon, that wasn't God. Now, I'm not saying you ain't hear this. I ain't saying it wasn't told to you or prophesied to you. I ain't saying you ain't have a dream about it. But if it don't happen, it's not God. If God told me, Joy, I'm going to restore your marriage, and this time, you better get it together. And if my marriage ain't restored, that ain't God. God is not a man that he should lie, nor a son of man that he should repent. I know what God is telling me. You know why? I know how to go and take God. I don't know what's going on with this. I need you to talk to me. I know how to grab my Bible. I know how to humble myself. I know how to get my pen and notebook and my pad and go to my Jesus and get the directions and guidance and see what God is saying versus the lie of the devil. I go, Lord, I want the truth no matter how bad it hurt. And that's it. And when God say that this is it, you could stamp a Michael Jackson on it, because this is it. How about that? And what I mean by stamp a Michael Jackson on it, because his last album was This Is It. When God says something, it's in the difference between God and the devil. In order for the devil to get you to follow him, he got to wrap the lie up beautifully. Then you got to receive it. And then that's going to take you to his next step to try to prove that he is God. Then the next step of his lies, and then before you know it, because the devil will never bring you to life. The devil's steps are ordered, and his order is to kill, steal, and destroy. It ain't gonna never take you to joy. That's just like when you with a narcissist. A narcissist, one of the spirits that are dealing with a narcissist is a fantasy. It's a fantasy demon, because the narcissist got to make you believe we're going to ride off into the sunset together. We're going to do this together. Life is going to be grand with us together. See, it's a lie. But it's one of the demons that come with narcissistic. The Jezebel spirit is a fantasy demon. Ask me how I know. I only know because I went through it. I only know because God revealed to me who these spirits are. But they come to the children of God to get you off track so you won't be productive or effective. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? So Ezekiel chapter 13, it talks about the false prophets And it talks about how let's go right into it real quick. Then the message came to me from the Lord: Son of man, prophesy against the false prophets of Israel who are inventing their own prophecies. Say to them, listen to the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says: what sorrow awaits the false prophets who are following their own imaginations and have nothing and have seen nothing at all. These witches walking on this YouTube, literally, it's a platform. So they walking on there and telling you your Boaz has dreamed about you. Your Boaz knows your name. Your Boaz is watching you. Girl, bye. Stop your foolishness. And then you go down to let's go down to go down to verse 17, and it's talking about the false women prophets. It says, now, son of man, speak out against the women who prophesy from their own imaginations. This is what the sovereign Lord says: what sorrow awaits you, women who are ensnaring the souls of my people. So you so worried about a husband, and God saying, girl, get your life. Get your life together. Stop committing adultery. See, God is trying to deal with you, and you worried about a husband. So you following these false lies that's wrapped up in your flesh. And God is trying to deal with you, but you following these false prophets, and so the false prophets is leading you more astray, is what I'm trying to say. You understand? You're running after the lies because you have itchy ears. Speak to my flesh. Speak to my lust. Speak to my idolization. I idolize this and that. Give me what I want. Oh, I was talking to one of my friends, this girl I know. You know what she said? I can't wait till my husband come, so I won't have to be doing, I don't have to work like this or do this. I'm thinking to myself, huh? So people waiting on a man to come and save them. Girl, when that man come and save you, quote unquote, what you gonna tell God that you did with your gifts and talents? Like, God gave you gifts and talents for a reason, not to be saved. For how you know that you ain't the one God gonna use to bless the family? I didn't know that all the time that me and Greg was struggling like we were struggling, that man worked his butt off, took care of us 100% the best he could, went to work every day, never took off. And even when they laid him off, he was afraid and when he at home, I said, Greg, just chill. He would get unemployment. He couldn't even rest because he got to take care of his family. He did that. He did that throughout the 29 years that we was together. I didn't know that God was going to use me to be to bless our family, to take us out of poverty. I felt like he was, but nothing never was happening. He told me he was going to bless me, but nothing never was happening. And then one day, after he told me fasting is the key, I had to get on the fasting path, which that was 2008. And then he didn't tell me to start the business to 2014, which he told me in 2005, but I was too scared. I didn't know that I was on my way. And it was me. So I'm not saying that God ain't going to bless you, won't bless you. I'm saying you waiting for somebody to come and save you. How you know that you're not the one that God is sending to save? You understand? Because clearly God did that. God brought me. And I remember Greg saying one day, he said, I believe that God is going to use you to bless me. That's what he said to me one day. And clearly that's exactly what happened. You reap what you sow. All the seed he invested in us, me and these kids, he's going to reap that. But to be honest, I had no respect for him, period. I just looked down on him, belittled him. I mean, to be honest. And one thing about him, he don't say much. He's not a talker unless I make him mad. I'm people. If people make him mad, he gonna wait for a while, but when he go for it, he going for it. Or if somebody come from people, which is me, he don't play that either. Or so I'm just talking about when we was together. So the point is, when he say something, you better take it to the head. I did never, until it came to pass. Like he told me we was divorced that first time. God said, you my wife. I said, no, I wasn't believing that, and I wasn't receiving that, and you can get that lie out of here. But it was the truth. Guess why? Because we got married again, and that was my husband again. So the point I'm making is this. The devil, that's what he wants you to do. That's why the Bible says, husbands, love your wives, and wives, respect. So he want to take that love away from that husband for you, and he want to take that respect away from you for your husband. So the whole point of the matter is, the enemy got a plan, and his plan is to get you off track. In this day and time, he's using these false prophets. So he said, these women, he said, this is what you're doing. First of all, you prophesying out of your own imagination. He said, what sorrow awaits you who are ensnaring the souls of my people, young and old alike. Wait a minute, we got some. So you got these old women that, like me, 50, 60, 70, they on here following these young or these demonic or these false prophets mess, because she say, you ain't too old to get married. Or, yeah, you ain't too old to get married, but is that God talking to you? Even if God tell me I'm going to get married tomorrow, I don't want to follow nobody that's leading me astray, that's telling me, okay, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's why the Bible said in 1 Samuel chapter 3, how God revealed himself to Samuel by the word. See, God revealed himself to Joy, Katina, Blair, by the word of the Lord. That's why when these false prophets come on talking about God said, all that, man, I look at them and say, because I know God. That's why when the devil was lying to me about all them different, why you think I wasn't following that stuff? Because I knew it wasn't God. But in my heart, guess what? I was hoping it was. Because of my lust and my desires. Then he says, you tie magic charms on their wrists and furnish them with magic veils. Do you think you can trap others without bringing destruction on yourselves? They got all these magic beads and this and that and put this thing around your waist. Man, y'all better stop following all these demonic entrapments. These entrapments that's taking you down the wrong path. You don't have to go far to find a witch. You don't have to go far to find a false prophecy. All you got to do is click on YouTube. Look, I was finna go walk. I was finna spend time with my Jesus and go walking. You bring shame on me among my people for a few handfuls of barley or a piece of bread, by lying to my people who love to listen to lies. That's the problem. We love lies. How about that? We love lies. Now, I was just minding my business, driving, talking to God, and I see my name on a license plate. Then I see my name on the license plate again. I actually seen it more than twice. I'm like, God, what is that? I don't know what that means. What is you trying to say to me? You trying to get my attention? What? I'm already at your mercy. Okay? The devil then took my husband. But you told me you're going to give him back. Okay. The enemy trying to torment me. He trying to take my health. Messing with my money. That devil took over probably about $50,000 out of my household. Over that much. He tried to take my life. Took my marriage, but God said He's going to restore it. I'm just telling you what God said. So, that's what God said. And I want Him to. I want my marriage back. Okay. And I'm just harassment. Okay. I'm just driving down the street, minding my business, saying, Jesus, what's up? What can I do? What you saying? You keep saying joy. Yes, Lord. Because you know when He, in the Bible, He called Him twice His own. I'm okay, joy. Okay. I'm looking at what you want, Jesus, what I do this time, what you saying to me, show what's going on. Not knowing He was saying, I'm finna give you 2 brand new Lexus trucks. I was driving that truck home. I was scared. That big old truck. Then they trying to put these things on there to make my car stop if on its own. Like if it look like it's in danger, it's just gonna break. I said, Then it's all them amenities, all them luxury thing. I'm like, even though I got this Lexus, but it's littler. So I can, even though I got my CDL license, so I can roll with the best of them as long as Jesus is riding with me or driving. But I don't like all that. So I was like, Lord, I'm going to drove it right on here. And the dealer, Emmanuel, drove the other one. I wasn't expecting to get no 2 new Lexus. What for what? I'm not going to even be driving it. And it's 6-seater. It's a 6-seater. Who does that? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seats in both of them. And to be honest, I got one for my husband when he come home. That's to be honest. So I got the white one for me and this gray, whatever you call it, for him. That's to be honest. Because I said I wanted to buy my husband a truck. You know why? Because he's bought every car I had that been repoed. He bought it. And altogether, we had, I know, at least 7 or 8 cars repossessed or more. Every car we ever had up until 2008. No, up until 2000 and, what is it? 2015 was repossessed. God broke that repossession curse off of us in 2015 when I did that liquid fast. Because when they tried to come and repo my van, they repoed Greg's car. They couldn't repo mine. But when they tried to come and repo my black 2008 Honda. But God didn't let him. He let me pay that off by paying $3,200. I owed like $13,000 or more. He let me pay it off with $3,200. And I sold it. And he broke off that spirit of repossession. Then He's restoring the cars out of all them cars we got repossessed. He's giving it back. God told me, I'm going to restore your health, your marriage, your life, your money. Honey, when I tell you I done been through in these last few months, and now, okay, so you bring shame on me among people for a few handfuls of barley or a piece of bread. So these witches, they profit lie for $1. He said, by lying to my people who love to listen to lies. I might take this video down because I don't really like sharing my stuff while God is working on it. You know, but I'm just telling you the truth. I knew this. I knew that God was going to restore my marriage since May. I knew that. God told me. And it was, I was like, it was impossible. Like, how God going to restore my marriage? He with this woman. He on this thing with this woman like this. And then I just had to cry every day. I just had to cry. It was pitiful, pathetic crying. It was horrible. My health was failing me, and I couldn't focus on nothing but this situation with the marriage. I was devastated. But what happened was, I was in the garage, and I kept saying to myself in February and January, I just didn't want Greg. I just didn't want him. I didn't. I was ready to move on, but I loved him. But I just was saying, Lord, I know you got somebody better for me. Let me get out of this. And then all of a sudden I started saying to myself what I thought it was me. And this is what I was saying. I said, I heard this is what I thought I was saying. What you gonna do when you see Greg with somebody else? That's gonna determine how you really feel. And I thought that was me talking because I just kept saying it. But it was the Holy Spirit. And then I prayed this prayer. I said, God, let Greg find somebody else first so that my kids won't come for me when I move on. That's exactly what I prayed. And sure enough, instantly, all that happened right in my face. And God started unveiling everything to me. Like God showed me the lies of the devil that I've been believing all this time. Okay, you want to see how you feel about him? All right, I'm gonna show you. And then I reap what I sow. Because I had got a man that asked me to marry him. And I said, yeah. But I couldn't marry him because God wouldn't let me. Then Greg watched me on the phone with this man 24/7 for 6 months. And Greg said, you in a romantic relationship with this man. And me and Greg wasn't married. I said, I ain't say nothing. He was so angry. The man started sending me roses. Greg started sending me roses. Greg was so hurt. Then one day I had the nerve to look at this man and say, he was saying something. I said, I only was on the phone with this man. And I looked at Greg. Greg looked at me and said something. I said, Greg, this is my man. Payback is something else, okay? So that's enough. I don't want to talk about no more of this. I wasn't even trying to talk about this, but yeah, there I go again, believing a lie of the devil. Why? Because I wanted to. and God shut that mess down. Yeah. Gosh, that was the devil. That was the devil walking on 10 toes. That devil was in Vegas. Okay. Yes. And then after all that, guess what? Greg forgave me and we was finna get married again. But I said, mm-mm. Yeah, yeah. So don't get mad when disrespect happened to you because you've been disrespectful. You know? I don't care who you are. When you ain't right, God gonna deal with your behind. And God dealt with me. He dealt with me in such a loving, gentle way, but he rebuked the heck out of me. Yes, he did. He sure did. And guess what the last thing he said? You know what that is on my lip? Ice. When I eat the ice, because my blood is low, so I eat the crushed ice, it pulls my skin. And I see it's red. Anyway, nobody worry about that. I gotta get out this bed. I gotta. I was finna chill. Then I said, I'm gonna spend time with the Lord. Then I said, anyway, I don't know what I was saying. What was I was saying something. What was I saying? Jesus. The last thing God said to me, you know what he said? Don't cheat. Yeah, what he said. So I can't have no boyfriend. I can't have no friend, which I'm not that type of person anyway. I don't do no boyfriends and all that stuff. I don't just go messing around with men, like that, so, but the enemy will, try to send somebody, so you just have to know what God said and watch yourself. You got to do like, what's his name? Mystical, and watch yourself. You just got to. You got to be careful. When God says joy, then what can I do? All I can do is sit back and watch, like Greg had to sit back and watch. This is foolishness. I cannot believe. Yeah. Yeah. Because when your flesh is in control and okay, you have to be careful because this is how, let me move this stuff. I gotta get out of this bed. This is how the devil trick you. You deserve better. You deserve more. You know what I'm saying? You do deserve better and you do deserve more. But don't step outside of God's boundaries and his protective. Marriage is protection. Singleness is protection. Wherever God has you, that's your protection. God, as soon as I got saved, I got married because God knew this is Joy's protection. As soon as I got saved, me and Greg got married because first of all, that was my husband. Second of all, I got a plan for both of them. Not just Joy. Third of all, I already know you're not safe out there, Joy. You understand? If he got you single, be still in your singleness. That can go so far, but that's why I got on here and did a video that I took down, because I didn't want to share what Greg's business was and some, whatever. So I took the video down. But God, he don't, I got in trouble with God. You on here divorcing this man every day. My daughter said, Mama, I'm going to do this one more time with you. That's not funny. I'm just telling what she said. My oldest daughter. These kids around here ain't paying no attention about this. All they looking at is, Mama said Daddy coming back. I don't know about that. One son already, as soon as they left, the only thing that gave him comfort is he'll be back. The other kids just knew he wasn't coming back because he didn't moved on with this woman. So then when they start seeing them tables turn, they start saying, that was God. So what I'm saying is this. God dealt with me about divorcing this man, then get on her talking about it on YouTube, teaching my people wrong. That's not okay. Joy. That's not okay. And I cried and I was shocked when God said He's gonna restore the marriage. I couldn't believe it with my own spiritual life. I couldn't believe it. Like, how's you gonna do that? I mean, not how's you gonna do that. That ain't, but it was unbelievable. So God told me, He said He took me to Judas, not Judas. He took me to Thomas. He said, Thomas, you believe because you've seen, but blessed are those who have not seen, yet they believe. Then He looked at me and said, Joy, stop doubting. And I said, I don't know how to deal with this, God, because I want my marriage, but I don't want that. I don't want him anymore. So I'm going back and forth, back and forth. Nah, you ain't finna have no woman on me, even though you're not my husband, even though we, whatever. I just felt betrayed. So now I'm going back and forth. No, I don't want that. But I know what you said. So how am I going to deal with this? So I had to go back and forth with this. One minute I'm never can say goodbye. No. To pick up your feelings. Come pick up your feelings, Jasmine. You know what I'm saying? Or Beyonce, to the left. Then the next minute I want you back. The Jackson 5s. So I'm going back and forth with this. But when it all said and done, I got to stop, because you can't waver in doubt. Can't be in your flesh and spirit at the same time. What do you want? And what I want is the will of the Lord. You understand? And the will of God is to restore my marriage. And this time, hey, yeah. So, it ain't even about me and Greg. You know who it's about? Our kids. We ain't finna make God don't want me and Greg to that these kids think it's okay to divorce and get married, divorce and get married, and playing with God with this foolishness. Because if Greg don't want to divorce me, he ain't finna fight with me. Only one time he did that. And that was in 2008 when I was finna divorce him in 2007. And I set him at that table with them divorce papers, and he looked at me and tore them up. He ain't never did that no more. He go right to the court with me. He sat right there with me as I fill out the paperwork. He sat right there. We go together. He sat right there, and I write in all the paperwork. We sat there together about a couple of hours. We just sat there. Then we drive home together, go get something to eat like ain't nothing happened. But that man can't handle that. He can't handle all of this mess, this woman. No, no. Who want to handle that? You don't know if you come home, you don't know if when you come home, you're going to be married or divorced. Who does that? So I've suffered for that, okay? In these 2 months, I've suffered dearly. But Greg don't know. He don't know I suffered. He sure don't. And I ain't gonna tell him. And that's not his business. So God had favor from joy. God chose me, you know? Yeah, God chose me. And when we was at the thing last Saturday, his brother was like, "Come on, take a picture with your wife." And he wouldn't even, if I called Greg, he wouldn't even answer the phone. At first, he wouldn't even answer the phone, me, baby. Wouldn't respond to no text, when nothing. And my daughter he would just talk to my daughter. First, he would talk about me, period. Then one day he just exploded. But then one day he called me out of nowhere. And he asked me, I didn't have my phone with me. I was at Ruth Chris with my kids. So he just called, and I missed his call. When I came home and said, "Missed calls from Greg." I'm like, Greg, I'm thinking, my son didn't call me. It was Greg. And he said, did he text me? He said, "I didn't want anything. I was just seeing if you still coming tomorrow." And so then he texted me back. He said, "If you coming tomorrow, I just wanted to say I'll see you tomorrow." So I start seeing the difference with him turning, like God was turning his heart back towards me. So when I saw him, I tried to look cute as I could look with this weight on me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so yeah. And then, he, of course, he made his way over there to hug me. And, he said he missed his soap. So what happened was, he said, "I miss my family." He kept saying that. Then he was saying, "I love my family. I love Joy. I love you too. I love Joy too." But I was in the car. Anyway, yeah. So when I got to the baby shower after that, this was last Saturday. When I got to the baby shower after that, he started sending me all these pictures that, Greg love taking pictures, all these pictures. I'll be telling him, "Don't put me on no Facebook, because I don't want to be, let me lose some weight." And so, he said, I missed being with my family. And I said, I miss my family too. Then he said, "Could I come home?" So the point is, when God told me he's going to restore my marriage, it looked impossible. And my daughter said, "Mom, I didn't believe you until Daddy did this." And then God just started turning that wave. It started coming to just going around. It just started turning. And I suffered for 2 months, but it seemed like 10 years. But look how quick God started turning that tide. Because when I said, "God, when?" He said, "Now." But it's going to be a process. It's not something that's going to happen it's overnight spiritually, but we got to walk it out. Just take your time, Joy. Slow down. Just, because I got to work on me. Okay? Because I don't want to get into Joy flesh and run you away forever. You understand? Because I ain't forgot. You understand? So I got to get all the way out the way. And I got to stay focused, because God is finna change my life forever. He finna, things is not, the joy I was, I'm not her no more. Every part of my life is going to increase. My financial status, my every status. This finna be an upgrade. I got to prepare for this upgrade. Because I'm so, I don't even know what I am. I don't think I'm nothing. Like, I don't care about nothing. You know what I'm saying? But my Jesus, Greg, and my kids, and my family, and the ministry. I don't care about status and upgrading and my dressing, and I don't care about that stuff. But man, when God call you higher, you got to go. So this is where I am in my life. You know, I see God doing what he promised in my health. You know, I work out every day. That's God. That's Jesus. That's God restoring my health. You know? Yeah, my life is changing before my face, and I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know? I ain't got nothing to do. Ain't nothing I can do about it. So then I called Greg, and guess what? He answered. I said, God, I'm going to share this with Greg if he call. If he answer. He answered that phone. Yep. So now if I call, he'll answer to me. If I text, he'll respond. You know? Or if he texts me, of course, I never did not respond if he sent me a text. So I just see the difference in what God is doing. And now I appreciate my marriage that my God is going to restore. Now, that dream I had when I found that marriage license, baby, honey, I got the marriage license right here in this drawer, and I don't even know where them divorce papers at, and I don't care. Both of them do. If you go look, I filed for divorce with Greg 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times. Well, yeah, because I think it's about, that's just pathetic. And this man keep coming back. He don't go nowhere far. And I'm not bragging about that, because y'all know I can't brag about that. I ain't got no strength to brag about that. I'm walking on faith. I'm walking on faith. And I'm tiptoeing it so I won't mess nothing up. I'm walking like a red-headed mice at night. Just hoping I don't mess nothing up. So it's not an arrogant thing. It's a God thing. It's a God thing. That's all. You know, God will whoop your butt and set your butt down and say, okay. You know, okay, what you want? Huh? I'm 50. I'm too old for this. For real. So that's it. I didn't talk too much. I might take this video down. I think I'm going to take that other video. I took the one video down about the car when I got the 2 bowls on the car. Let me show y'all them cars real quick. Joy. Okay. I'm going to take this video down. I took the one video down with the 2 bowls because it was just 1 minute. And then I was going to take the other video down because people, you can't share your joy with people. I don't want nobody knocking at my door and come messing with me because God gave me 2 Lexuses on credit at the same time. Them white people was coming out there. They couldn't believe it. And I ain't trying to say white, because y'all know white people follow me. Black people follow me. All kind of people follow this little YouTube channel. But them people were shocked to see that this black little woman with this block on, every time she come in here, what's she doing? What's she doing? But God gonna make it. God will get the glory, baby. All you gotta do is just let him get the glory. So I'm gonna show y'all.
Garage door.
Wow! When Jesus moved that girl. Look at that. See, I love my white. The white one is mine. Y'all like it? You like? Look at that. Ain't that pretty? Let me see. Let me show y'all. Look at Jesus, y'all. Look at that. Look at that glow. Look at that shine. Look at Jesus, girl. Let me show you inside of this is mine. Ain't that pretty? Look at that baby. Look at him, the baby. Look at that. Ain't that smell so good? And I told you I got the 6-seater. So you got this right here, these 2. Then you got this. Then you got the other 2 seats. And this course is in the bottom. You got to let it up. It got seatbelts back there. Ain't this pretty? Look at Jesus. See, I want to share my joy, but people can't handle your joy. Look at this. I love this. Ain't that beautiful? Then this Greg car right here. So this is Greg's. Ain't that pretty? Ain't that pretty? Look at that thing. Then he got, I don't know if I can open the trunk. Oh, I can open it. See, this got the 6-seater. And you can see the seat belts. And you raise this up right here. Let's see this. Then you got the other 2 seats back there. See? And Greg got the red seat. This is red burgundy, just like our front door. Look at that. Ain't that pretty? Look at that baby. Look at Jesus. Ain't that pretty? Wow. And then look at this. He got burgundy seats in his. For the blood of Jesus, girl. It's leather too. Look at that. They had to teach you how to use it. You had to have a 45-minute training session. And she was putting her fingers all on my little stuff, leaving her fingerprints on. I said something not to be funny acting. I said, yeah, because I don't like fingerprints all on me. Then she stopped putting her fingers on there. But ain't that pretty? Greg ain't seen it yet. When he see it, he gonna say, whoa. Yeah, so, yeah, I ain't ashamed of, I'll buy Greg anything, even if we don't get back together. I'm not worried about that because we always stick together. But ain't that pretty? I wasn't trying to get me no big truck like this because I don't care for this thing. Is huge. Man, this thing bigger than me. But I wanted it for Greg. So when I saw the white car, I said, ooh, that'd be pretty. I said, Greg will like that. I test drove this car. I said, nah, this one mine. I said, this one is mine. Look at that. Look at that whatever you call it. Ain't that beautiful? And the thing about that is, see, this my Lexus outside. I don't have no license plates on the front of that one, but these 2 have license plate things on the front. So And then so when I got in this car and drove it, I said, ooh, this is mine. And then I said, ooh, and then I get this one for Greg. And that's what I did. This was gonna be Greg's, and I was just gonna give me a little small Lexus car. Yeah. And then the other car, whenever Greg come back home, I'll see, because he's good at driving, very good. So he can bring that 3rd car in here, my black Lexus. I want it in here too. And then, but I could pull that car right up here, pull them trash cans over here, to the back and pull my black Lexus up right on up in here. And that's probably what I'm gonna do today instead of, because I kept it outside. See, I'll show you. My baby ain't never been outside all night. But her outside. Cause her just got kicked to the curb. And my other son, his car at the shop. My other son caught the shop. See my baby out here? She say, Mommy, why you leave me out here by myself? And the grass is doing well. It's growing so good. We got the irrigation system. So some of the brown parts, have to take time to grow back because that's what they dig at. But it's going really good. It's going pretty good. See? Everything is everything. But my baby out here by herself, she did good though. She did so good. So, yeah, that's it, y'all. So, yeah, so I'm going to stop sharing stuff on YouTube because YouTube can't handle what God is doing. And you can't trust people. I don't know people. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I cover myself and our possessions with the blood of Jesus. That's all I can do. But I just be trying to share my joy. I be trying to share my joy, but people can't handle your joy. And then I got to clean up the house. I pulled out the vacuum yesterday so I can start vacuuming because, just getting things ready. See? But then they called me, told me, come and get your cars. So I didn't even vacuum. I just got the vacuum right here. But I bought some rug runners, these things for the rugs. About these. I got to put these out. I'm going to put some in that living room and then some right here. Then my husband going to be back home. And this his area right here. And since he left, I ain't turned off that TV. I ain't touched nothing in here. I ain't bothered his stuff. His setting, because I originally designed this for him. Because everybody had their spaces. I love to be in the bedroom watching TV. He loved to he'd be in the living room. So all this was for him. This section was set up for him. Ain't nobody been in here, mess with nothing. TV been on since he been gone. He don't know that, but I'm just telling y'all. Then, what I did do, my daughter, she went and put her suitcase and stuff in the closet. And this normally he has these closets. Normally he has these closets. So I made her take her suitcases out of here. And it smelled just like him in his closet. So she had to take her suitcases out. But when we get back, married, I'll put those pictures maybe somewhere. I don't know. I'll find somewhere to put them. And so I did that. And then I did this. My room is, y'all see that? I told you I got to clean up my bathroom. So I bought some new rugs and stuff. And then my room is, look at this. I got to organize, but that's okay. I'm good. That's what I'm working on. I'm cleaning up. So I went and took all the supplies and stuff. I ain't cleaned up nothing yet. All the supplies I had over here, because I had to sample my products. All those I took off of his side because this is his side. And then I came in here and cleared all my stuff out of here and made his side. This is just how he left it. And I just kept, and this is his chest. I cleared out all, and then I just organized my little boots. My little shoes. I just put all these over here because this was originally mine even when he was home. And this right here is my side. And I just put all these over here, my little purses and stuff. Because when it was over, I just started buying shoes. I went to the outlet and I just started buying. Well, no, I ordered shoes offline because Facebook kept posting all these different shoes. So I just liked it, these different shoes, all these different shoes. I told y'all before, these right here. Look at these. I'm pretty, ain't they? And then I went to Guess Outlet to Coach and bought them, just started buying purses, I don't know why I just started buying little, I don't know, but I did. So I'm going to clean up my house. My mama coming over next week. My mama ain't never been over here yet. Judy been over here. Nobody else. So next Wednesday or next week, one day, my mama come in, my sister, Janet, Jeanette, and Judy, and Sanaya, that's my niece. Because I want, my mama to see the house. Greg mama, she been asking to see it. So, whenever Greg come home, then we'll have I want to have a housewarming. Because ain't nobody been over here. And he come home. And that's it. Whatever God gonna do with this marriage, God will get the glory. Because, baby, I ain't pretty enough to get my husband back. I ain't anointed enough to get him back. It's God. So, that's all. So I didn't talk so much. It's an hour and 20 minutes. I just did too much. So I'm finna grade them. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm talking to God about two things. But I feel good. I got my health, my strength. I should just go out here and go walk and talk to the Lord instead of going in the basement or to the gym. I went to the gym down the street yesterday because I wanted some elliptical, because it's time to switch up a little bit. So I'm gonna go outside. I guess I go walk and talk to the Lord. Then I need to come in here and clean up. I'm a vacuum and clean up and everything. And today is a laid back day, but not in the spiritual realm. And I'm losing weight. I thank God for that. I'm not stressed about it. Like I used to be. I'd be so stressed because I want it off now. But I'm just thankful. I already know God already told me I'm going to lose weight, so I believe him. When you believe God, you just rest. You ain't even, I know God going to restore my marriage because he told me. How, when, all that. He even gave me a time frame, so I can't even lie about that. So I'll just say thank you, God, for helping me lose this weight, for restoring my marriage and helping me to treat my husband better, and yeah. And that same guy that, remember when I was on the phone with that guy and Greg had sent me that email, that text that said, all or nothing, love and basketball. Remember, this was 2018. And I was on the phone with that. I liked it, that boy. And I was on the phone with him, but he's my photographer. He's the photographer. So I liked him. And so Greg sent me a text that said all or nothing, that video, a little short video. And that's when I said, I choose. I heard choose. So I chose Greg. I said, it just happened. The next week we was married out of nowhere. Now guess who? I was on the phone with that same guy on FaceTime. And not FaceTime, but Messenger. He was like, when we gonna when we gonna have lunch, dinner? So he was like, I get off at 1:30. What time you? So I had made an appointment to see him because about taking. I already paid him. So about the pictures for my supplies. So I had made an appointment to see him at 2:30 at the bread coat And so I told my daughters, and one daughter said, Mama, no. The other daughter said, Mom, you better tell Daddy. So I definitely wasn't going I can't bother Greg right now. I'm walking on tippy toes. God got it. I'm letting God do this, so I can't. And so, but, he was blowing, he told me, you so beautiful. He blowing them kisses and stuff. I said, you know what? Then I can't play with that. You know what I'm saying? I know I can't play with that. I'm just talking to you for real. Even though No, you can't play with that. This is the same situation. Like this man is not trying to be with me. If anything, he's very respectful to me, but definitely attracted to me, you know. But so I didn't go. I didn't go. And I'm not going. And as simple as that. So I don't care if it is business. I have to just count that money as a seed sown and leave that alone. Because the last thing God told me in Malachi, in the Message Bible, read Malachi chapter 2. God broke it down. He said, and don't cheat. That's what he said. So that means you can't have nobody. Even, I don't care what Greg is doing. You can't have nobody because you're married. And you know what I'm saying? I'm finna restore your marriage. So don't. And then all of a sudden, you know. So that's it, y'all. I'm gonna get off here. We have to just stay focused because, man, this is a season. God told me this is your time and season. That what he told me. So I gotta stay focused because if anything gonna be birthed, I gotta do it. I can't wait on nobody else to do it. I can't, I got to do it. That means I got to use every bit of my energy and my strength to handle my business. When my husband come home, I wasn't no bad wife. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Because I'm a wife. But I got to do better. And you know what better is? To him? Just shut up. Just shut up. That's better. Now, if I do that, he gonna put a star on Hollywood ground for me. That's all I gotta do. If I shut up, I'm the best wife in the world. Just shut up, Joy. If I could just shut up. If I could just don't tell him I'm lonely. Or if I can just don't tell him, how dare you go and get this woman on me? If I can just don't tell him, you a betrayer. You betrayed me to the utmost. If I could just shut up and don't tell him, I don't even know you. I'll be the best wife ever. Okay? If I can just shut up and don't tell him, I don't think this is working. We'll do just fine. Just shut up. Just walk through here and don't say nothing. Don't say God said. Just shut up. Then our marriage will flourish. Okay? Well, he want to hear what God said. So I tell him what God said. But I probably have to do it in sign language. God said. I have to learn sign language. I know it's A, B, C, D, E. I know a little bit. But if I could just, maybe we can write letters. Well, nah, because he'll be listening to, he'll hear my voice saying, you ain't, So just shut up, Joy. Okay? Don't say nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because these people up in this house don't care about my voice. They don't care about what I say. So you know what I'm going to do? The key to my perfect marriage is I ain't got no voice. Okay? I'm just going to shut up. I can't even whisper around here because the people going to think I'm crazy. So the best thing to do is just be quiet. Or maybe I go get me an apartment. How about that? And then I can talk all I want to in that apartment, me and Jesus. How about that? Just get an appointment. I ain't got to worry about it. I come here, I'll be quiet, but I go there, I can talk. I can tell Jesus I'm lonely in this marriage. I can tell Jesus the truth. And Jesus ain't gonna want to leave. Well, Greg don't never want to leave. He always got put out. I ain't glorifying that because I want my husband to come back home. But I'm just saying, he don't want me to say nothing. Just shut up, Joy. Because he think we have peace when I don't talk. Hello? Hello? Hey. Hello?
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 How you doing? Hello?
I'm doing good. Who is this?
Cam, man. I'm looking at you on your...
And so why would you call me? Why would you call me, Cam?
I ain't doing nothing but just...
If you see me on YouTube and you see me doing a video, why would you call me?
Hey, I'm not gonna call your phone number, man. All right.
Okay, thank you. That's weird. That's the guy that came from St. Louis, the one I said that I don't even want to talk, that came from somewhere to St. Louis talking about whatever. This man, I don't know, but I ain't worried about it. I don't know this man. I ain't never seen him. He just found me from YouTube. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be quiet and just be lonely and sad. And I'm just kidding. Just be lonely and sad and depressed. No, just kidding. I don't owe nobody nothing. I can go talk to my God anytime I want to. So I don't have to talk to these people. And then they gonna think all is well. Ooh, Joy is doing so good. Ooh, our marriage is flourishing. Because I ain't talking. Because I ain't saying I'm lonely. Because I ain't saying we need to talk. We need to talk. Now she done ruined the marriage. She want to talk. Now the marriage is ruined. Girl, this is so funny, but it's the truth. So it's okay though, because God is faithful and true. Like who does that? You see me on YouTube and you just call me out of nowhere. What you want to say? Like, what you want to say? Oh, this man right here, this man just, he'll wait for about 5 months, 6 months. He gonna always call back. Show up at my office. Well, he can't show up at my new office because he don't know the address. I don't know what this is about. It's a distraction, but I'm not running from this man. I don't know no more. Man, I tell you. I just want this man to go away. Definitely. Listen to her, man. Go away. So that's all, y'all. I could have been making some money. We could have been on Zoom talking about how to write your book, talking about how to start your business. We could have been on Zoom talking about, honey, how to become that woman, baby. Okay. And then give me about 5 months. We're going to be on here talking about how to lose weight and my weight loss supplements. And we're going to be talking about, we could be on her. I could have been on her making money, baby. But I'm just with my family. I wasn't planning on being here that long. I even told y'all I ain't going to be long. I came here talking about false prophets. And here he is. But I love you guys. That's all. I just want to say I love you. And Cam, please stop calling me. First of all, God has joined me with Greg. That's my husband. And he's restoring my marriage. I'm not nobody's wife but God's and Greg's. So stop harassing me. I mean, seriously, I think, I'm not saying you're a bad person or anything like that, but stop. You make me mad, even though you can't make me mad right now, but you have. Now leave me alone. God is restoring my marriage. I'm a 50-year-old woman that's getting her marriage restored, that just want to live for the Lord. I ain't got nothing in me for these men. Please stop. So, that's why, even, sharing these blessings that God is doing, for me, people think they think you got something, or I got Jesus, I got everything. But don't, what I'm saying? People, I don't know what people think. I don't know. But Lord, just, I'm not trying to put my family in no danger for me being on this YouTube, talking about how God blessing me and stuff like that. I'm not trying to, and God knows that. I just want to share my testimony, but everybody can't receive it. So I guess I'm just gonna get ready to just go walk and talk to the Lord, because I need to. I'm in the middle of this thing with my marriage. I don't even know if I'm in the middle. I just probably be in the beginning of this thing with my marriage. And the businesses, the hair care line, all this different stuff. I just need Jesus. I need him every moment. And I'm so grateful to God for his mercy. But it's praying and fasting time. It ain't time for nothing else. It's time to fast and to pray. That's what time it is. That's it. So I love you guys. And I tell Jesus, I'm never going to give you up. I'm never, ever going to stop. Just can't live without you. I'm never, ever going to quit, Jesus, cause quitting just ain't my stick. I listened to that song the other day, and man, it made me think about my Jesus. So what God wants from Joy is shift your focus, girl. Shift your focus from Greg. Shift your focus from stress and worry or whatever. And I want all of your attention, not some of it, but all of your attention, baby. And you know what? God, you can have it. Yeah. My focus is not Greg. My focus is not none of this stuff. God said, I want your focus. So I'm never, ever going to stop. I'm never, ever going to quit. Because Jesus, I just can't live without you. I'm never, ever going to quit, because quitting just ain't my stick. Just in love with the Lord and just thanking him. Because the stuff he do, he don't have to. Do we? Do he have to bless us? Do he have to love us? Do he have to give us life and life more abundantly? Do he have to give us peace and joy? Do we? No. So yeah. When God said expand, he started opening up these doors. He said expand, and he just started bringing blessings. So, he's restoring things. He's restoring my money. He's restored everything. So there you go. There you have it. Okay. So I love you guys. Today would have been a beautiful day to have a Zoom. I miss y'all. So we'll do Zoom. We'll do something real soon. We'll do a class or something real soon. I miss y'all. I love y'all so much. So if I can get maybe 5 people just say, I love you, Sister Joy. Tell me you love me, and I tell you I love you. I love you so much. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Y'all my family. Because I'm a loner, and I'm so I love you. I love you, Meek. I love you, Jamie Hill. I love you, Miss B. I love you. It's going so fast. I love all y'all so much. I can't. Vicky, Erica, Craig. Hey, Erica, I love you, baby. Tanisha Smith, I love y'all. So y'all gonna make me cry. I love y'all so much. Petals of Wisdom, Annie PD. I love you from the bottom of my heart, Sister Joy. I love y'all so much. Now y'all gonna make me cry. Just the information on the Zoom. I definitely will give y'all information on Zoom. I love y'all so much. If I can save this and snapshot this, Snapchat, snapshot, whatever you say, and keep this forever. I love y'all so much. Just pray for me. And if God is, which y'all pray for me and Greg, pray for our family. If you really a child of the Lord, and y'all finna watch God restore the marriage. And then me and my fat face husband gonna be on here talking about restoration again. Now I ain't just calling his face fat. We both got fat face for right now. It's gonna change. Ain't gonna always be fat face. Yeah, y'all got to pray for me. Because y'all already know. How dare you get on here with this woman and post this woman on Facebook like this? Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my own place for a little while. Okay. I'm gonna go back and get me an appointment. I already know. I'm just gonna pack my bags until I, cause once you get what you want, you now you back to normal. Come on back home so I can. I'd be like Fred Sanford on you. How dare you? No, I ain't kidding, but I'm kidding, but I ain't. I love y'all so much. Lisa Scott. I love you guys. Y'all gotta pray for Sister Joy, because love you, Shanty Sally and Leslie Thompson. I love y'all, okay? I love y'all. I miss y'all. I'm finna be by myself when I click off of here, but it'll be okay. I'll be okay. I love y'all.